So talk to me about like growing up, because obviously we both grew up in New Jersey. So I know a bit of like what the hockey scene's like there compared to some other guys I was talking to, but everybody's path's a bit different.
Yeah, so I grew up in Bellmead, New Jersey, so it's like 10 minutes north of Princeton, about that. Pretty nice area. I loved it. Um, Kind of like an hour from like the northern rinks, like Ice Fault and that, and then an hour from like Hollydale and the south rinks. So, and then I played at Mercer, um, pretty much my whole youth hockey career until U14. Then I moved to Arizona my 15 year, and then um, second year 16s and till like my second year juniors, I played for the Hitmen in Billington, North Jersey, and Upper Saddle River. So yeah, it was a pretty fun experience playing hockey in Jersey. So
Yeah, how'd you get into it? Like for me, it was my grandfather. He was like the only reason I ended up playing, but
so for me, I remember when I was like about 7 or 8 years old, the first game I watched was the Winter Classic with Crosby when they had the blue jerseys in like 2008. They played the Sabres, I think.
yeah.
I watched that and I was like infatuated by the goalies, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like that looks so cool. Like I want to wear the gear, and I loved how like they stayed on the ice the whole time. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I really want to do. I'd love to do that. And then ever since then, I like learned how to skate at like 7, 8 years oldish, and then went from there. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
That's I find it funny that everybody's experience is a bit different. Like I feel like some people have parents who both played, but like for me, my mom obviously didn't play, and then like my dad was from Mexico, so he like never even heard of hockey.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting experience because like my grandfather took me to learn how to skate like without my mom even knowing, and then like signed me up for my first travel team without her knowing. So it's definitely cool to see how people kind of get into the culture and then like how they progress. Like for you, like I stayed all the way through high school. Like what inspired? Did your family move out to Arizona? Is that what made you play
No,
there?
I
Or?
lived with the Billet family, U15 year, and that was a tough decision for, me and my parents letting me leave the house at so young. But yeah, it was really fun, and that was just they played in a really good league, and they were hosting nationals that year. And my goalie coach George Bozak, you know him, but he moved out there, and he asked like I think 6 of us to play for the Coyotes, and I was one of them, luckily. And yeah, it was cool because I kind of like grew up a little quicker, as in like there was no one there to like put like my parents weren't there to like push me or like keep my life structured. Like I had to learn to do that myself because your billet parents, like they
Yeah.
have rules, but they're not like you're not their kids, so they can't like push you to like work harder at hockey or work harder in school and stuff. So I had to like kind of instill that in myself, learn from a young age, and I thought that really helped me, um, you know, get to where I am now and hopefully in the future. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then take me a little bit in more detail about like your junior career, because again, like that's something where um, I was in one spot for a bit and then moved around a bit, but you stayed pretty much in the same spot your whole career. So how was
Yeah,
that?
so my first gap year I played 2 years 18. So first gap year was second year 18s, and then my second gap year I signed to play for Hitmen NCDC, and I thought I was going to be like competing for the starting job, and then obviously with COVID there's a trickle down effect, and we ended up getting two really good guys who were like veterans already, like Chase Clark played a full season in the OJ. And then Damon Beaver already had 2 full seasons at OJ as well. So they were both really good goalies. And, unfortunately for me, I kind of got buried a little bit. But yeah, the first half of the year I didn't really play. And then we had like the Hub City bubble thing. So I went there, played a couple of games for the Premier team. And then after that year, I was fortunate enough to sign with Team Maryland in the AHL that final year. And then had a pretty good first half of the season, and I was fortunate enough to commit here, and then out of nowhere I was already on the team because there was a situation with the freshman goalie, so they needed a guy. So joined here halfway through the year, and here we are now.
Yeah, what was that like? Like coming in halfway, I can only imagine because like freshman year is already a shock as it is. So like coming in midway through must have been interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy because like obviously like I was planning on committing for next because I was talking to them from like November to like the time I committed, like just here and there. And I went on my visit late December, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll keep an eye on you." I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And I didn't really like, they never really got back to me at all until like winter break. And it was New Year's Day because I remember I was driving to the rink for like an open skate just to like do like skating drills, whatever. And our goalie coach in Maryland, Jason Wolf, he called me. He was like, yeah, Potsdam wants you to come in right now. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't even think they were interested anymore. And he was like, no, they had a situation with their freshman goalie and they need a goalie now. So I said yes, talked it over with my family. We agreed it was the right thing to do because I wanted to play in the SUNYAC. That was my goal. And yeah, I had to do all the paperwork, all like the vaccine shots, everything within a week. So like I committed like I guess technically January 2nd, and I had to get all of it done within like 4 days, and I came here at like January 6th or 7th ish. So it was tough. Like I had to do the college application, everything, and I got it done fortunately in time and got here, and yeah.
Yeah. So what, like, obviously I know how it went your last year, but what was it like early on playing here? And how was your adjustment period to getting used to college hockey?
Like the on ice or
Yeah,
just everything?
on ice to start, and then you can talk about
So
school.
yeah, when I got here originally, it was just I I didn't think I was quite looking back. I don't think I was quite ready to like join right away, just because like physically I wasn't like as strong as everyone or like, and then the shots seemed like a lot harder than juniors obviously, and everyone was a little more skilled. So it was like going from the EHL to here mid-season was pretty tough, like
Yeah.
adjusting to the strength and speed of everyone. But after that, I had a really good summer, sophomore year, and then I started to like notice the improvements and like felt like gained confidence and thought I could play. But yeah, the adjustment was tough freshman year for sure. Like um, definitely a lot faster. Plays were quicker than juniors. Yeah.
And other than obviously like I could even feel that you play more, you get used to it. But like, was there anything in particular that maybe you brought into the summer, or even just training throughout the season that really helped you kind of adjust yourself? So like you mentioned that like maybe you didn't feel as strong as you were obviously now. Was there certain aspects that you took away from your game that was like, okay, I definitely need to work on this moving forward?
Yeah, so for me, the three key things were just getting more explosive side to side because obviously the plays are quicker, faster. So I worked a lot on like my lower body and like plyometrics, stuff like that. And also like hand eye. And like I said, like the shots were a lot quicker than juniors. And like in juniors, I felt like I can get away with not like I'm gonna get like goalie, whatever, but not
Yeah.
like tracking all the way in. I can kind of like get away with that. But in college, like if you don't like read the release perfectly, like keep your eye on the puck the whole way, it's probably going to go in. So just a lot of hand-eye, like plyometric leg work, and also like I watched a lot of video and just like trying to like read plays and pick up patterns, and I felt like that helped me a lot in my college career, especially just like watching like because luckily for goalies, like NHL highlights, they're basically goalie videos,
Yeah.
right? Because they show the goals, they show like all the like scoring chances. So I would try to watch a lot of that and try to like learn patterns and like try to use them when I'm on the ice. Like, hey, like his stick blade's like this, he's probably gonna pass the back door, or his stick blade's facing towards the net, he's probably gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
And just like trying to like get myself familiar with constantly scanning the ice, and I think that really helped me. And
Yeah. No, that's something. So I have a little brother who's a goalie, and obviously, like the way I play the game, I think a lot of it for me is like watching video. And we were talking a bit before we started about how like when the ice comes out of the rinks, it's hard to really better yourself. And like obviously, when you're younger, it's also hard. Like in the summer, if your parents aren't signing you up for certain things, it's like yeah, you're on the ice a few times a week, but it's not as much as we can be on now. And I think that's like a huge part that a lot of people miss on. Like they think like just because you can't be on the ice or do exactly what you'd like to be doing, you can't better yourself. Like I think like obviously like we're fortunate enough to have like Insta and stuff, and like I'll just go through certain players who I know are excellent in certain attributes based off some like advanced statistics and stuff. But even just like watching the game, like I think now more than ever, like the playoffs are on, you can really see how teams are performing at their best. And like obviously it's different coming from a player perspective and a goalie perspective, but something I talk to him a lot about is like like the pattern recognition. Like if you can see a play developing and okay, 9 times out of 10, this player's probably going to try to make this play. If he's outside of the dots and he's a righty and he's coming down on his strong side, like his angle's probably not the best. So as long as you seal up like the short side, he's not going to score.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, I think is huge. And even from a defending standpoint, I think that's something that helped me a lot throughout the year. But obviously, good with that. And hockey wise, how was that for school? How was like getting all the work done?
School, actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like when I first, because I didn't take any classes in juniors, so for 2.5 years I was just focused on hockey. So like coming in, I mean, luckily it was just like gen ed classes, so nothing was too crazy. But it was actually an easier transition than I thought. So I was fortunate enough, to have that. But yeah, like going in like that week, I remember like the 2nd to the 6th, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't remember anything. So yeah, it was weird like going back into class and seeing everyone like younger than you, because obviously everyone's 2.5 years younger than me. I'm with like the 18-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting. But like from a like getting schoolwork done perspective, it wasn't too crazy for me actually.
Yeah, that's good. I had the same feeling where like I went up to all my teachers the first week and I was like, hey, like I went to a pretty good school. I did pretty well, but like I've not taken a class in 3 years. Like I don't know how it's gonna go for the first bit. Like I know I'll catch up, but they were all pretty understanding. And I know like talking about being in class with the younger people, like that's something Lenny and I talked about, where it's like, yeah, I think it is like obviously you had an even more of an experience moving away when you were 16, but like it's an advantage to have like lived some life before you go to school. Like you could see in some of their perspectives where it's like maybe they're either on either end of the spectrum where they don't like really value the college education yet and like know what value it's going to bring to them in life, or on the other side it's like they kind of worry about the school too much. Like I definitely think in high school like I cared way too much.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't 100, like I was losing my mind. But now it's like, all right, I understand. Like, so long as I get the skills that the school's trying to teach me, like, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and going back to like what you said about moving away, like you also had to like force yourself to like, be out there and make friends for yourself. Like I feel like if I were to stay home, I wouldn't have like built like the social skills, like to make friends or like meet new people.
Yeah.
And like put yourself out there kind of thing. And I think that was also a big aspect of moving away. When I was younger, it helped me like kind of branch out and like, just push myself to make more friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said you lived with billets for both, like when you're 16 and for juniors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I had a billet when juniors, but I also lived with others, and like now you experience that, right? Like living at the house. So I think that's like something that not a lot of people experience. Like especially if you don't go to school and you don't live in a dorm. Like even the dorm situation is way different than what we're doing. But like, yeah, I mean, you also bond way quicker with like the people that you're living with. And Luch and I had funny stories about like people that we live with. Like sometimes they leave a mess, and that could build some arguments and stuff. But you learn how to deal with people pretty quickly.
Yeah. So unfortunately for me, I didn't really have like a billet brother on the team per se. Like my 15 year was just me, and like I had a billet brother, but he wasn't on my team or anything. Yeah. Great. I still talk to him to this day. Great guy. But yeah, like living with the boys now, like I've done that for past 3.5 years I've been here, and like you said, like you feel like a lot closer to the guys you live with, and you learn their little like idiosyncrasies or whatever. But yeah, it's been a really cool experience, like meeting like the billet parents, meeting new people, and then here like living with guys, and like Lenny, for instance, he watches wrestling. Like I would have never watched wrestling if I didn't live with him. Or like we have baseball on, whatever. Like I like baseball, but I don't watch it nearly as much as if I were by myself. So it's been a pretty fun experience. So.
Yeah, kind of tying that into like your time in college is coming to an end here. What were some of your favorite moments, either with hockey, with school, just life on being a college athlete?
I mean, one of my favorite moments was meeting everyone for the first time, just like not knowing what to expect coming in, and I honestly had no idea what to expect, but everyone was like so welcoming, like all the seniors, everyone. I lived with all seniors my freshman year, and they were all like, I wasn't sure if they were gonna like bully me or something, but no, they were all really welcoming. And then on ice, it has to be when we beat Oswego in a shootout, because Oswego is one of the like premier teams in our conference. Always wanted to beat them like from the moment I got here, so that was a really cool experience. And probably my first win too against Canton. That was really fun. But yeah, I mean overall, just like everything was really fun for me. Like I'd do it all over again if I could. It was a really fun experience, and yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have, before we keep going with some of it, like, do you have any advice for me? Obviously, like, you're towards the end, I'm just starting up, so.
I'd just say for you, like, I feel like my first 2 years I was very like hockey driven or like focused on hockey and like didn't really try to like branch out much like off the ice or like hanging out with the boys or whatever. I'd say like try to enjoy like everything. Like you get your work done at the rink, you get your schoolwork done, but don't forget to like also like you're in college. Like
Yeah.
you can have fun also and like stuff like that. I wish my first 2 years I took more advantage of that, but obviously everyone's path's different, and luckily for me, that helped me get to where I
Yeah.
got this year. But yeah, I just say I wish I enjoyed it more, like enjoyed more of the off the ice stuff. And for you, that'd be my advice. Just like try to like soak in everything, like whether like get your stuff done at the rink in
Yeah.
school, obviously, but just make sure you enjoy like off the ice because it's over like that. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I was coming in yesterday like with the suitcase, not eating, had nothing to eat, 7 hour drive. Yeah, but yeah, I just say do what you can to enjoy like off the ice and hang out with the boys, stuff like that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And obviously that was a part of this year for you, and like maybe your junior year as well. Can you
Mm-hmm.
go into detail a bit more about like this year? Like obviously it was a great year for you and a great year for the team. We broke a few records, so take me through like some of your processes that helped you stay
Yeah,
even keel.
so going into this year, I obviously didn't know what to expect. Um, but like over the summer, I just pushed myself to be like, hey, just like control what you can control, right? Like you want to put yourself in the best possible positions or for when your opportunity comes, like you take advantage of it. And for me, like my success this year, it kind of like was based more on the mental side of things. Like I think last year, even my sophomore year, like I knew I had like the physical skills to do well in this league and stuff like that. But I would always like overthink things. I feel like, and like when I got into the game, I would kind of feel like different than I did in practice. Like I would overthink and like wasn't sure myself. And then this year, I kind of like threw that out the window. I was like, why are you so nervous? Like it's the same. Like you've done it thousands of times
Yeah.
successfully. Like whether it's in practice or I'm in the racquetball court throwing racquetball, it's all the same thing. Like why be nervous about it when you know you can do it, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I went in with full confidence this year, and I was fortunate enough to have a good team in front of me defensively, and yeah, luckily or unfortunately, I broke some records, and we got to the playoffs, which is really cool. So, but yeah, the biggest thing for me was just believing in myself and believing in the like preparation and work I put in before, and not overthinking and just knowing you can do it and just going out and getting it done. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a big part of that is um, like Luch and I talked about it, like some guys we'd see in the morning and before the season, like I'd see every morning and even during the season. And like, even that was kind of the expectation when I came in. Like, I think I was here early, like on the first day I got to school, and I saw Dougie, and he's like, yeah, like you'll see me in Werbs here like every morning. Like I'll be shooting on Werbs or whatever if you want to come out with us. I was like, all right, great. And I think that's like a big testament to what you were able to accomplish. And obviously, a big part of that's believing in the work that you're doing, and that's what lets you let it all go. But like, had you not done the work, I don't think like the ease of mind would have been possible. But transitioning that into moving forward, right? Like I think again, I want to pick your brain on it. What's your thoughts in transitioning to pro hockey next year, and like how are you going to attack that?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think a big thing like transition from like last year and this year is more the mental side. I think it's going to be like an even bigger part of next year for me, like going into pro, because there's a quicker turnaround. Like there's a lot more games and less break time.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a lot of like there's going to be ups and downs, but you have to like try to like I'm going to try to stay like even keel the whole time. Just keeping the confidence I have in myself and not letting anything get me down or letting me get overconfident. Just consistently like putting in the work I do. And, you know, I'm going to go back this summer. And fortunately, I can train with a lot of guys who play pro now, so pick their brain on, you know, how they go about their seasons, because obviously it's a grueling season. Like,
Yeah.
like I know like the minor leagues, they play like 50, 60 games or something. And then NHL, it's obviously 82. So a lot different from college in that way. And yeah, so just like I said, just try to stay like even keel and not losing the belief in yourself, whether like good things happen or bad things happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited to play more games again? Like I know like this year I felt like obviously I loved playing in more energetic environments this year than we did in juniors. But like I wish we could play like not double cuz like when you get to like that 60 mark your body definitely starts hurting,
Yeah.
but like somewhere in between.
No, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a new challenge,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for it. Yeah, I don't know what to expect like crowd wise in whatever league I play in, but you know it's going to be super exciting to be being in those situations more frequently. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah. How are you excited to graduate? Like, are you happy? I don't know how like your family was, but I know like it'll be a pretty big deal for my family. Like nobody's gotten a college education yet, so like how's that for you guys?
Yeah, it's mixed feelings. Obviously, I'm gonna miss the boys
Yeah.
here, and you know, miss the off ice and on ice, like showing up to the rink every day, seeing everyone, guys that you live with, and that you've known for the past 3-4 years. But I'm also excited to start like a new journey. Obviously, like I'm starting all over again. I'm gonna be the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
again. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss it. But you know, at the same time, I'm really looking forward to starting a new journey and seeing where hockey takes me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you take me through like a day in your life in the summer? Because I know for me it varies a good amount, but I don't think there's any place better than Jersey to have a off season where you're working and playing hockey.
Yeah, so luckily for me, I came in contact with Frankie Loftus last year, and he trains at the Barnabas,
Yeah.
or I don't know what it's
Right
called
next to
now,
the
but
Prue.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Devils practice rink. So I usually wake up, get a workout in, and then he usually has skates at like 11, so I'll drive like the hour drive there on the ice for like an hour and a half, hour 45-ish. Come back home, probably take a nap, eat lunch, and then usually do some sort of stretching or plyo work depending on the day, and then I have a retail job at night, and then those were like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I work at nights there, and then last summer, I don't know what the situation is this summer, but I was lucky enough to like coach younger kids. One with on Mondays and Wednesdays with my buddy. He's a goalie coach now, so I coach in Woodbridge. And at the shore, I'd skate at JSA.
Yeah.
So like we'd have skates at like 7 to 8, and I would skate then and then coach after from like 8:15 to 9:15 or something like that. So those are fun too, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you? Because I also coach in the summer a bit. Like, do you enjoy that process? Do you think you could do something like that way after you're done playing, or?
We'll see. I honestly have no idea. Like, I want to play hockey for as long as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that comes, like, I certainly would love to do that. I like, because you also learn, like, even like now that I'm currently playing, you learn things for yourself too, like watching like other kids' mistakes and stuff like that, and like you have to give them advice, and like you can also like take that advice and like instill it into your game or whatever. So I think that part's really cool, and also just like giving back and like teaching them tips and tricks that like older guys taught you like when you were younger. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind doing it in the future for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a part of like learning a skill that people don't think about. And I don't know that it necessarily applies to sports, let's say, but I know it's like a proven, they did a study for learning, like for school, and being able to speak and teach somebody else is actually like one of the most effective ways to be studying for like exams and stuff. And I found like the idea of being able to tell little kids that, like what kind of concepts you're thinking of in your head and try to like really just like make it as simple as possible. Like for a goalie, like get out on your crease. Like you don't have to overcomplicate it. It's like you just need to move forward, kid. Like
Yeah.
make sure you're taking up space. I think that helps a bunch. And I think again to like tie it back when you were talking about like getting into a game and not trying to overcomplicate it in your head. It's like realistically those should be the only thoughts. Like it shouldn't be like, oh, I need to make sure I'm at this angle to do this thing. It's like, yeah, like okay, as long as I follow these basic rules, like I could just let my brain go free.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, I've also like another big thing this year was like practice is for thinking, games is for reacting. So
Yeah.
like you want to do all your thinking in practice. Like even if you like I try not to. Like whenever I'm on the ice, try to like react, trust my reactions, stuff like that. But when you like think in a game, like you're kind of like a step behind. I feel like, and that's what I found for myself. But like in practice, like even in the morning skates that I do, like that's the time for like thinking and like trying to like figure out like what like how you're going to go about dealing with certain situations. So when the game comes, you're sure of yourself and you've done it thousands of times and you just react and trust yourself. So that was a big thing for me.
I guess one of the last things here, like, what's something not hockey related that you found is to be a habit of yours that's really helped with life in general?
That's a good question. Not hockey related. I mean, just like the overall work ethic, I guess. Like it's kind of like I got it from hockey, but it obviously goes to anything. Like if like schoolwork, obviously you have to put in the work to be good at something or memorize something for a test, and then even like when my career is over, it's I'm gonna have to learn like new skill sets at whatever job I have. So just like like being consistent with your work ethic, like trying to get better every day. I think that'll help me in all aspects of life, not just hockey. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for coming out.
thank you.
Good luck
Thanks
next
for having
year.
me. Thank
Appreciate
you.
having you, dude.
Thank you.